Well, hello, pretty people. It's Melissa here, and just welcome to my channel. I am the creator of Think Me First and Rock Your Vibe Apparel. You can find my information down below if you want to find me at the blog post. We have a Facebook group and YouTube channel. My storefront is listed below. All that information is listed below for you. Today, we're going to be talking about Be More Chill, and it's kind of based on the musical Be More Chill. Be More Chill is like a Broadway musical, and it's geared more towards teens, but there's a lot of important messages that parents can get out of there as well. It's about your typical love triangle, between a guy and a girl, but the guy has a supercomputer inside his head. It's telling him what to do. The guy's desperate to fit in. The girl wants to be popular and stand out. And then you have this supercomputer who is just, they just want to take over the world. So it's kind of like that, but there's a lot of good messages in it. And I think we can all relate to it either as parents or even apply it to our adult lives. So that's what we're going to be talking about today is Be More Chill. So think about it. How do you define yourself as chill, or do you? Anyways, my name is Melissa, and I'm the creator of Think Me Verse and Rock Your Vibe Apparel. So if you like this channel, please hit the subscribe button below. And then if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. That does drive our algorithms. And then feel free to leave comments and then hit the notification bell. You'll be notified every time we upload a video, which is every Wednesday at 7 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. Again, we do shoot all of our episodes live. But without further ado, let's get back to WTF, also known as Wednesday Thought Forum. We are shooting live episode number 77. Woo woo! All right, and thank you guys for all joining me for all these episodes and everything. I really appreciate it. But again, today we're going to be talking about being more chill. So the musical itself was excellent. Again, it was great for teens, parents, adults alike. There were a lot of good messages throughout, and we're going to kind of break that down and go over it. I learned some very new vocabulary, and I have a better appreciation for the teenage mind. The pressure they feel is super real. So let's, I'm going to be talking about different characters, but I'm going to be giving you ideas on how they fit into our everyday lives, because believe it or not, this happens daily. And you may not think of some of the things the way that you do. I'm hoping you get a new mindset and appreciation for people without, the stereotypes. The characters all have different issues, from being introverts to lacking confidence. Some are popular, some are not. Some can dress, some cannot. So it was a really, really good musical, and we can learn a lot from it. So the pressure of cool or being chill. I'm going to read you a quote because it was one of my favorite quotes from the video, or from the musical. And one of the characters, he said, you see, being cool is obviously the most important thing on earth. It's more important than getting a job or having a girlfriend or political power or money, because all those things are predicated by coolness. They happen to have it because they have it. They depend on it. And I thought this was an interesting quote because there's some truth to that. A lot of people believe it to be true. I think there's a lot of truth to it. Being cool is an image. It's not a feeling or an emotion, but with it comes feelings and emotion. In principle, to be cool, it means to remain calm in stressful situations. But, it doesn't explain why there's this now global culture of cool. What is cool? It's going to be defined differently by other people. And why is it so cool to be cool? Or is it even cool to be cool anymore? So again, going back to the quote, it brings up a really good point. And, people have partners or significant others, girlfriends, boyfriends, because they're cool. Some people have political power because they are cool, or have money. and so forth. There's a lot of people that have things because they have money or they are cool. So here's a twist on it, though, and I never thought about it until I read this, I heard this quote. But think about it. The people that are, cool and earning all these things because they're cool, they now have to depend on that. I mean, it's crazy, but you think they have to keep up this facade or this false image and work harder to retain the lifestyle that they have because they have what they have because they're cool. Yet at any moment, it could be wiped away, and then they have nothing. Their image and status are both gone. So I guess my point here is to always be true to yourself. Always be yourself around others and be genuine and sincere. Because when you do this, you don't have to work hard at it because it comes naturally. All right. And you're going to maintain a lot more relationships, sound relationships. And again, it's just going to come naturally. So long story short, be yourself. All right. And then we have being popular does not always reflect being chill. So one of the characters' names, her name was Jenna. She was a lead character in the musical, and she was your pretty popular girl, outgoing. But she was your gossip girl. She knew everything that was going on with the rest of the cast, and she knew when to verbalize it. So, to apply it to our everyday lives, I'm sure we all have a coworker like this, or a friend like this, or you see it on Facebook or something, We all know a Jenna. So, one would think of Jenna as having confidence or maybe being chill, but that couldn't be further from the truth. So, people like Jenna that like to gossip a lot, they usually talk about others because they have their own insecurities. And they're usually, avoiding them by way of gossip or just to take the attention off of them and to focus on someone else's issues other than their own. So just think about that, because there's another cast member, and his name is Jeremy, and he asked Jenna one day, "How are you today?" And Jenna was really shocked by this comment. And so her quote is, "I know everything about everyone else, but no one ever asks how I am." So she was totally shocked. All right. So this is our gossip girl, but she was shocked that someone would even ask how she was, because, she's always the one talking, and it's usually about other people. So no one really knew anything about Jenna. So, think about that quote for a moment. Again, we have the popular girl who knows everything about everyone else's lives, but no one really knows her. And, that's kind of sad, because with Jenna, her character, there was a sense of loneliness with it. And it was kind of sad. Personally, I never even thought of it this way until she actually said it. And then I thought to myself, how many other people do I know are maybe feeling this way? So my point is to never underestimate that just because someone may seem like they have it all, that they are happy. And then we have the athlete, who is not always chill. And, in high school or college, we always knew who the star athlete was, the quarterback, the football team, or the head cheerleader. There was always the athlete. So the athlete in the musical, his name was Rich, and he was a very interesting character. I really liked his character. He was a nice dresser. He was a model. He was an athlete, nice looking guy. He was very likable. A lot of people liked him. He was successful. He was a very well-rounded person. And so Rich decided that he wanted to be in a play. He's never been in theater before or anything, but he kind of liked this girl, Christine, and she was in the play. And so he wanted to be in the play. And in order for him to do this, he had to quit one of the sports that he was in. And he was very good at all the sports. So he had to quit one of the sports that he was in. So Rich's quote, and I love it. It's like, "I am so glad to not be pressured to be the best." We see this a lot in our youth because we see a lot of it in the little league baseballs, and the basketball. Every parent thinks their child is a star athlete, right? There's a lot of pressure, and when you put this kind of pressure on people, they can't be kids. But for Rich, being chill was actually doing something that he had never done before, and that was being in the theater. Even though he was new to theater, he had more pressure on him while performing in sports, something he was good at. And even, he was new to theater, he didn't feel that pressure. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I really liked his character. It took a lot of courage for him to know what he wanted to do, and then the sacrifice he was going to make. We all feel pressure. Sorry about that. I'm usually blocking him out. But, we all feel pressure to be perfect at some point, whether it's playing a sport, at work, working on a project, taking a test, parenting even. And feeling that pressure to be perfect is just usually done to please someone else's expectations, not your own. We know our own limitations, and we know that we're not perfect beings. So I thought he was a very good character. Now, this one was a very interesting one as well, and a new perspective for me. Do you play a person daily that you don't want to be? I did this one time in my life. So we're going to talk about Christine now, and she'll be the last character we talk about. But, she had a quote that I could totally relate to. And I do believe that many people have been through some of the same things, perhaps maybe still are at some time in their life. But Christine was a transfer, and she was new to the school. She didn't dress like the other girls, and she was labeled as the good girl. But here is her quote, and it's one of the best quotes, I think, from the whole musical. But I don't want to be who everyone thinks I am. So remember, Christine is in the theater, and so she likes to be in the plays. So again, her quote is, I don't want to be who everyone thinks I am. So, there's a lot being said in that tiny little quote. For a lot of people, they will do anything to be wanted in a group or a relationship, etc. So think about that. I mean, people not only make you feel like something you don't want to be, but people can have the tendency to already define for you who you are. And that's kind of what happened to Christine. And that's why she liked being in the theater, because she could be who she wanted to be. So don't let this happen to you. Please be your own person. It will pay out in the end. A lot of you know my background. In my prior marriage, I went through a lot of mental and verbal abuse, and I was manipulated. So I didn't have an identity at that time. I never went out with my friends, and sometimes I got together with family. I was really only went places with my kids and my spouse at the time. But what I really wanted to do was promote myself in management at work. I wanted to go back to school and get my MBA, but no, it didn't happen because I let someone define who I was. Not on purpose, but I let it happen. And it's like a really hard place to get out of. So my takeaway from attending this musical was really interesting, because my now husband and we took my daughter and my stepdaughter. And so I asked them, what character do you relate the most to? And when they told me their answers, I learned a lot about the girls that night just with this simple question. I don't think they ever knew where I was alluding to, or, what my whole was, but, they would never have told me some of these things in casual conversation. I learned from their characters that they may, see themselves as. So I now have a better understanding, of the trials and tribulations from a teen perspective, and they're pretty impressive. Just to conclude, the musical had a lot of inspirational messages and teachable moments. It was delivering situations that our teens are experiencing daily. I mean, truly, they are daily, and they are a lot of pressure. So just be aware that, Even though you may not be the cool one or you may be the popular one, it doesn't mean that you cannot be happy. And if you're the popular one, it doesn't mean that you may be happy. Okay. So just be yourself and be proud of who you are. Don't settle for what everyone wants you to be. Because if you are with the right people, then you will know and can feel that you can be yourself. All right. And then that's where you belong. So, anyways, let me know in the comments below what resonated with you the most. Let me know, which character you can relate to the most. But anyways, I'm glad to share this information with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you showing up. Love you guys. Let me know if there's anything else I can talk to you about. But one last message. Thank me first. It's not selfish, but it is necessary. Everyone have a good evening. Bye.